Hey guys, take a look at this cool place here. Doesn't it look like a giant nest? Right, you kind of got the hollow part in the middle, kind of for a giant bird to come and lay their eggs. Look at that. Kind of got the high part of the nest all around, and then a bird could come and lay their eggs in the middle of the nest. Anyway, that's beside the point. That's beside the point. Do you know what that means? That's beside the point. That means that's not the main thing I'm talking about. Okay, so if you're talking about something and then you kind of make a side comment, you can say that's beside the point. But that's beside the point. Okay, so you could be talking about the nice weather. Oh, look at this nice weather out here. Oh, look at that nest. Isn't that a cool looking nest? Huh. Anyway, that's beside the point. Anyway, that's beside the point. Okay, so this phrase is a great phrase to use to avoid rabbit trails. Okay, now what is a rabbit trail? A rabbit trail is, has nothing to do with rabbits, has nothing to do with trails. Okay, it means when you're talking about something and then suddenly something else comes into your mind and you start talking about the other thing. So for example, you know, I could be talking about politics or something, and I say, hey, look at those geese up there. Right? Oh, look at that, those are nice geese. Hey, you know, an interesting thing about geese is that geese, and then I start talking about geese, right? That's a rabbit trail. I'm talking about like politics, and then and then suddenly I start talking about geese. That's a rabbit trail, right? It's a bit windy out here, guys. Maybe I should keep walking on the path. I don't know. You know, YouTubers hate wind because it ruins the audio quality in their videos. So hopefully the audio quality doesn't get ruined here. Anyway, that's beside the point. See, that's beside the point. Now I started talking about the audio quality, right? Now I just said, anyway, that's beside the point. I don't want to go off on a rabbit trail talking about audio issues that YouTubers face, right? That's not the point of this video. All right, so that's a very useful phrase to avoid rabbit trails. Okay, so you can, you know, when something comes into your mind, you can say it, and then say, but anyway, that's beside the point. You know, so I actually met a few days ago. I met a very interesting guy in a coffee shop. He was a British guy. I don't know, probably, but maybe in his 60s. Very interesting guy. And he was telling me about his work. He used to work in Saudi Arabia. Okay. Most people don't work in Saudi Arabia. I mean, you don't, it's kind of rare to find people, like white people from like Britain or Canada or US, who have worked in Saudi Arabia. I don't meet them every day, so I was kind of interested. So he was telling me about his work there in Saudi Arabia, and he said something in passing that piqued my interest. He said something in passing that piqued my interest. What does that sentence mean? He said something in passing. If you say something in passing, that means it's not your main thing that you're talking about, right? So let's say I'm talking about something here, and then now I'm gonna make a comment in passing. Hey, did you know that yellow school buses first came into existence in Canada in 1965? Anyway, now I keep talking about my main thing. I just made a comment in passing about yellow school buses. It wasn't my main thing. I made a comment. in passing. Okay, now I just made up that statistic. I have no idea when yellow school buses came into existence in Canada. If you know, let me know. I just made it up as an example. Okay, but I made a comment in passing. So he, the guy that I was talking to in the store, and not the store, in the coffee shop, he made a comment in passing that piqued my interest. Okay, if something piques your interest, that means it makes you interested in. He said something that made me interested, right? Not this kind of peek, peekaboo, peekaboo. That's the kind of thing you say to a baby. Peekaboo, right? You go like this, peekaboo. You're not a baby, right? Or are you a baby? Maybe I have some babies who watch my videos. If you are a baby, let me know down in the comments, guys, if you are a baby. Maybe you're a big baby like me. So, not that kind of peak. That kind of peak is spelled P-E-E-K, but the other kind of peak is spelled with a Q. They're pronounced the same, okay? So if something piques your interest, that means it makes you interested, okay? So what did he say? He was talking about his work, and then he mentioned the Line City, the new city that the Saudis are building in Saudi Arabia. This project, it's a big project. You can go on YouTube and see it. Maybe you've already heard about it. If you just search for Neom, the whole project is called Neom, N-E-O-M, and they've got a bunch of different cities that they're building. It's crazy, huge cities. One of these cities is called the Line City. It's just a line. It's like a massive, tall, like wall. It's a big, like a big wall, basically. It's a big line city that runs right through the desert. So just search for the Line City and you'll see what I'm talking about. So the comment that this guy made in passing, he said, I think that city is a secret military installation. And then he kept talking about his other things. He just made a comment in passing that city is a secret military installation. Now, what does that mean? Military installation means like kind of like a military base, okay? Like a secret military base, okay? So, or something to do with military purposes. Not like a regular city, right? I mean, if you go on YouTube and you look for this city, you'll see this big project. It's very impressive, and it's for people to live, right? It's a place for people to live. But this guy said the comment in passing that he thinks it's a secret military installation. So let me know, guys, if you're from Saudi Arabia, let me know. Is it a secret military installation? What are your thoughts about that? I don't know why this guy said it. I didn't want to interrupt him because he was speaking, right? He was speaking. He was talking about his work or something. Then he made a comment in passing that it's a secret military installation. And he kept talking, and I didn't want to interrupt him. I didn't want to be rude, right? But what I could have said afterwards, which I didn't think about it, but what I should have said was, could you elaborate on what you said about the secret military installation? Could you elaborate on that? Okay, elaborate means to kind of say more. Can you say more about that? because he just made that one comment in passing. I wanted to know more because it piqued my interest. If something piques your interest, it means it gets your attention. So I wanted to know more about that comment, but I didn't want to interrupt him. And so, but what I could have said after he was finished talking, I could have... There's a dog trying to interrupt my video behind that fence, guys. So, ooh, I see a nice car coming up here. Check out this car, guys. Look at that car. Not this one, that one. That is incredible. That's awesome. Hi, dog. So I could have asked that man, could you elaborate? Could you elaborate on that more, or could you elaborate a bit more about what you said about the secret military installation? Could you elaborate on that a bit more? Elaborate means to clarify, or to give some more details, to give some more information on that, right? So I wanted to know, but I didn't think about asking him that. So it just was a comment in passing. Okay, so now I'm telling you, okay, I'm telling you the story of the what happened at the coffee shop, right? And I'm telling you, he made a comment in passing that piqued my interest. Okay, so I'm using that word, that phrase, in passing, because I'm telling you. We don't use that when we're really talking directly to, you know, like I could say you made a comment in passing that that city, the Lion City, is a secret military installation. Could you elaborate on that? I could say that, but usually we use this term in passing when we're talking about something, what someone else said. He made a comment in passing. Okay, so now if you are making a comment in passing, you can say that's beside the point. Okay, look at that goose. I think that goose is lost. Most geese fly in a kind of a flock. That goose is flying alone. Anyway, guys, that's beside the point. Back to my topic, right? See what I did? That's beside the point. I started talking about something else for a few seconds, and then I didn't want to go down that rabbit trail. Okay? I didn't want to go down that rabbit trail, so I said, but that's beside the point. Or anyway, that's beside the point. Okay. So, do you like going down rabbit trails when you speak? I mean, do you speak very, like, clearly? Is your train of thought? Your train of thought means like all your thoughts, you know, the way you're thinking. Is your train of thought consistent? Is it consistent, or is it really like disjointed? Like, do you go on a lot of rabbit trails and then later you remember, oh yeah, that's what I was talking about? Ah, yeah. But you don't even maybe you already finished your conversation with the person, and then later you remember, oh yeah, I was talking about this, then I got sidetracked and I went down a long rabbit trail. I got sidetracked and I went down that rabbit trail. Yeah, I should have just kept talking about my main point, right? Has that ever happened to you? That happens to me all the time. Sometimes I like to go down rabbit trails. So guys, where should I walk to next? So yeah, anyway, I thought that was interesting, right? I met this guy in the coffee shop. He started talking to me. You know, and we talked for maybe about 45 minutes, and he was telling me about his you know, his work in Saudi Arabia and other countries too. He had been all around the world. And now it's windy here, guys. I better take shelter somewhere. Maybe I can go take shelter in these trees over here. Anyway, so it was an interesting conversation I had with him. And so, you know, he was when he made that comment about the Lion City. I mean, I've known about those cities that Saudi Arabia is building for, you know, I've known about them for a few years, so I'm interested in those cities. Sometimes I go online and I search for those cities to see what, you know, what's the latest news about those cities, because they're very impressive cities. You know, like, how is it possible that Saudi Arabia is more advanced than Canada? Isn't that crazy? Guys, it's windy here. I'm gonna take refuge inside these trees, in the middle of these trees here. All right. I think that's a bit better. So, yeah, I don't know. Don't you think that's weird? Like, how is it possible that Saudi Arabia is more advanced than Canada? You know, people think about Canada as like this great country, you know, first world country. But, I don't know. You know, when you look at those cities that are being built in Saudi Arabia, it's like, man, that country is way ahead of us. Maybe it has to do with our leadership here, guys. If I were the leader of Canada, I would build a freaking massive city. I'd build a city from coast to coast. A huge line city, 4,000 kilometers long. Wouldn't that be awesome? I could call it Markland. Would you like to live in Markland, guys? That'd be great. That'd be a massive city, guys. From coast to coast, one long line city. That would be sweet. Let me know in the comments if you would like to live in Markland, or would you like to stay in your own city? I would like to live in Markland, but you know, it's too cold in Canada anyway. I have to figure out some kind of heating system for the city. But maybe global warming will take effect by then. Hopefully global warming will have happened by then. Hasn't really happened yet, but hopefully, maybe if I can build the city in like 20 years, maybe global warming will have happened, and then it'll be a nice warm place to live. That would be awesome. Anyway, guys, there's your English lesson for today. Thank you for watching. I always appreciate all my subscribers, you know, my friends. Thank you for being my friend, and for always leaving nice comments and all your encouragement, your support. Really appreciate that, guys. So from here in Alberta, Canada, I will I'll sign off before I go on another rabbit trail. Guys, look at those geese. Those geese just suddenly took off from the water all at the same time. Oh, anyway, that's beside the point. I won't go down that rabbit trail. I won't get sidetracked. I will end the video right here. So as always, I love you so much. Hope you're staying safe, healthy, and happy. And as always, I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.